A lot of women get into relationships with men and they forget that men are also human beings. They will sit here and be mad at a man who had a horrible day at work and walks to the door because he didn't greet her the same way that he normally greets her. How about you put on your understanding cap and say, what's going on with you? You okay? And sometimes you don't even have to ask no questions. Sometimes if you see your partner is off, you do not have to be reactive. They see that their man is in a bad mood, they get in a bad mood too. So now we both in a bad mood. Like, something is wrong with you. What's interesting is that a lot of women are the complete opposite. They'll have a horrible day, lash out on you, and then expect you to just take it because you should have known that she had a bad day. You have to be willing and open to do the work. Otherwise, you're going to always be single. And you're going to end up being a bitter woman who comes on the internet talking about all men are trash when it's really you.
Absolutely. Absolutely 100%. They will end up single, and blaming men on internet. I'm going to prove a point on this video. Make sure you tune in to the end. Yo, what's good YouTube? I am back with another video. If you're new to the platform, as usual, don't forget to like the video, comment and subscribe to the channel. We want to welcome you to our platform. Welcome to the family. Now without further ado, let's get into it.
Why are there so many single women out here that are struggling to find a man? Well, I'm going to tell you the reason, but you're not going to like the answer. Now, this may not apply to you, so don't take offense. But if you do, maybe you need to reflect why it makes you offended. Honestly, a lot of women treat men like trash. A lot of women take men for granted. A lot of women want men to take accountability for their actions and what they do. But boy, if you ask a woman to take accountability for her faults and her actions, it's straight to signing divorce papers. But my question is, why are women so resistant to taking accountability? Like really, what is the reason why you won't take accountability for your actions? I know for me personally, because I was this woman for many, many years, like most of my marriage, I realized it's because I thought I had to be perfect and that society judged me based on my level of perfection. And if I dared to take accountability for my faults and actions, then I would be even more demonized. But the reality is, me not taking accountability was making it worse. And I don't think a lot of women understand the fact that we are a lot of the problem. I'm not saying we're the whole problem, but at least on my platform, on this side of things, a lot of men are trying. They're putting in the effort. They're doing the things that they need to do. And women are taking their husbands for granted. They got married because they wanted to be married, not because they wanted to be a wife. So you single ladies struggling to find a man, most men are not even wanting to get married anymore because they've dealt with bad relationship after bad relationship of women taking them for granted and treating them like trash. And honestly, I can't blame them. If you put all the effort in for a year and didn't get anything back, you wouldn't tolerate that either. So why are we expecting men to just sit down, shut up, and take it? You would advise every one of your girlfriends, girl, don't take that from him. But why should he take that from you? And honestly, I truly believe that lack of accountability is one of the #1 reasons why marriages are failing. So we refuse to take ownership of the things that we need to take ownership for. I can promise you, if you take accountability for your actions and work really hard to fix them, your marriage can look completely different. Because y'all, that's where I'm sitting right now. The problem is you just gotta swallow your pride, do what it takes to make a change.
If they're not willing to change, they will end up being alone forever, bro. Because these women, they think being in a relationship, being in a marriage is about them, not about men, So that selfish mindset, that's what they have. They only come into a life to take, So they wanna get married, They want kids, they want house. At the time they have all of those, then they see they don't need a man at that time. They have all they want. So what happened? Getting a divorce. So men are waking up, There is no way you can get into a situation where you know exactly what's going to happen, and the chances of that happening is too high. Why going in there? So obviously they will end up being alone, and no man even dare be closer to them.
I'm 24, single mom of 2, and I just lost everything. Hi, my name's Bria. Nice to meet you. That was me about 3.5 years ago. Went through a very, very ugly divorce, walked away with absolutely nothing but my 2 precious children, and I'd do it all over again. So, little bit about me. I was a very successful destination wedding photographer and built my business from the ground up. I ended up buying a beautiful horse property house to raise my children at, and realized that the person I was with was not the person that I should be spending my life with. So I decided to file for divorce. Well, me being me, having a huge heart of gold, I decided my money was our money, and he decided his money was his money. So I opened a joint bank account that had all of our money in it. I paid for the down payment of the house. Girls, learn from me and do not make my mistake. So when I decided to leave, he decided to take everything. I left with absolutely nothing to my name. I left in a U-Haul. I moved from California to Florida in a U-Haul, and no car, because he wanted to make sure all the cars were in his name and not mine, aka power. Do not let a man do that to you, okay? Make sure you are on there as a co-signer. You're on there just by yourself. Well, me being me and me being young, thinking love is love and no one would do anything to hurt you, false. So I left with about $10,000 to my name, a U-Haul full of everything, and my 2 children. I spent about 4 months using my double stroller as a car for 4 months, I would say. We lived in a 1-bedroom apartment with a blow-up mattress for another 4 months because it took a while for me to get from absolutely nothing back on my feet, because mind you, I lost my photography business as well because of COVID. So COVID happened, weddings got shut down, I stepped away. So now here's this single mom of 2, basically homeless, thinking life is never going to get better. How did I get here and how do I get out of it? So there was days, weeks, months where I'm crying my eyes out because I didn't have enough to buy food just for breakfast. I didn't have enough for anything. And I'm just here to tell you that if you keep pushing and you keep believing in yourself, everything's going to be okay. It's going to work out in your favor. I'm still not, now I'm 27, so 3.5 years later, because I'm going to be 28 in like 2 days, but I'm still not where I want to be in life. However, I'm a lot closer to where I want to be in life because of the fact that no matter how impossible it felt, I refused to give up. I refused to take the easy way out and just say, this is the cards that God gave me. No, I said, I don't like these cards and I'm going to do everything in my power to get out of this. So if you need support, if you need help, if you need anything, feel free to reach out to me because I love supporting other females. If you need a job, I'm hiring. I will give you a job. Like literally anything that you need, I will help you with because I've been there and I had absolutely no one and it sucked. So this is just your reminder to keep going no matter how hard it gets.
It's never been sweet when someone taking advantage of you. When they take what you've been working for your entire life sometimes and you believe it's yours. Unfortunately, that is what men are going through in every day, bro. In court battles, men are losing. That's the reason she filed for divorce, thinking like because she's a woman, she will win. She will get the money, get the house, get them cars, because she have kids, full custody. So that man have to step away, and it went wrong. So she's the one fight for divorce. There's no one to blame. And she trying to having that victim mindset, victim mentality. Like you have to be careful with these men. They can take what you have, trying to become savior, helping other women. Listen, we understand. She went through a lot, maybe, but we didn't hear the side of the story. Maybe she was the problem. She was the problem. Maybe we don't know. But it is what it is, man. Men are losing as well in numbers. So at least now she can feel it. How it feel like to lose what you have. It is what it is, man.